DINAR Shift viewers, welcome back to the channel where we analyze the most significant developments in global currency markets and how they connect to the larger financial landscape, including the ongoing story of the Iraqi dinar. Today, we must turn our attention to an unexpected and highly impactful story that has just surfaced from Southeast Asia. This is not just another piece of speculative chatter, it is an internal matter that was never intended for public discourse, and its contents could potentially change the conversation around currency revaluations globally. This confidential information pertains to the Vietnam dong, a currency that has long been followed by economists who believe its current official value does not accurately reflect the rapid growth and industrial transformation of its home nation. The essence of this groundbreaking report lies within what is being described as a leaked internal document, originating from a major financial institution operating within Vietnam. This memo, which was clearly drafted for the eyes of high-ranking bank executives and staff only, outlines detailed, technical preparations for an imminent and comprehensive currency shift. The simple existence of a document that bypasses the public relations process and dives straight into operational changes, digital system overhauls, new rate testing, and international financial partner coordination is why this story is sending shockwaves through the analytical community. Such internal communications confirm a state of readiness that mere rumors can never substantiate, marking a critical moment for those monitoring global currency dynamics. For years, the financial world has watched Vietnam's economy expand at an impressive and often understated pace. The nation has become a powerhouse in manufacturing, attracting massive foreign direct investment as global companies shift supply chains. Exports have soared, and the digital banking sector has modernized to a standard that competes with far more developed countries. Economic theory dictates that when a country sustains this kind of robust, fundamental growth over a long period, its currency's valuation must eventually align with its true productive capacity and wealth generation. Analysts have consistently argued that the dong is significantly undervalued, and this internal memo appears to be the first hard evidence that the country's central financial authority may finally agree with that assessment. It mentions the update of core banking software, the running of complex financial simulations, the testing of new electronic rate boards, and the strengthening of overall system liquidity to handle the anticipated surge in activity. These steps are standard operating procedures for a system-wide revaluation, and their line-by-line confirmation in an internal memo drastically elevates the credibility of the entire narrative, moving it out of the realm of speculation and into the sphere of acknowledged preparation. A significant focus of the internal communication is on the anticipated timeline, with language used by analysts and economists frequently circling back to the year 2025. This proposed timing is not arbitrary. It is believed to be strategically aligned with several major international trade agreements and economic partnerships slated to fully commence or take effect around that window. For a country to successfully execute a large-scale currency revaluation, global financial conditions must be stable, and strategic trade alliances must be firmly in place. The second, more impactful phase described in the leaked communication is the eventual systematic withdrawal of the older, lower-valued currency notes from circulation, allowing only the newly revalued currency to dominate the financial ecosystem. This stage is emphasized as a slow, deliberate, and intensively monitored process designed to ensure a smooth transition. The overarching goal, as stressed in the document, is the complete prevention of market chaos or systemic instability during the adjustment period. The reliance on measured execution across defined stages underscores the financial authority's commitment to an orderly and controlled transformation of the national currency. Perhaps one of the most compelling details in the internal memo is the explicit mention of coordination with major foreign banks and international financial partners. This is a critical indicator because it strongly suggests the revaluation is not conceived as a purely domestic affair, intended only for internal circulation. The global readiness aspect of the plan confirms that international holders of the Vietnam dong would be able to process exchanges through established proper banking channels once the new value is officially active. This international coordination is a prerequisite for any currency seeking to reflect its nation's true global market position and trading power. The leaked information further delves into the concept of different access levels for various holders, a common feature in structured currency reform processes. The memo refers to tiers and access levels, implying that institutional investors, major banks, and legitimate, properly registered large-scale holders might receive earlier access to updated exchange channels or new rates. Conversely, lower-tier or unverified individual holdings would likely be processed during later, public rollout phases. This tiered approach is designed to manage the initial high volume of exchange requests efficiently and is a clear indicator of the authorities' desire for an organized, systemically stable transition. To ensure a streamlined process for all participants, the memo emphasizes the importance of meticulous record-keeping. Proper documentation, clear proof of purchase, and verifiable authenticity of the holdings, coupled with a clean relationship with established banking institutions, are highlighted as key elements for a smooth exchange process. This focus on verifiable credentials and orderly access is aimed at avoiding backlogs and confusion, allowing the system to rapidly identify and service legitimate transactions, thereby preventing bottlenecks and maintaining the public's confidence in the financial system throughout the transition period. The significant investment Vietnam has made in its digital financial infrastructure over the past 5 years is now being strategically leveraged in the revaluation plan. The memo explains that electronic exchanges may be ready to execute transactions the moment the new rate is officially activated. This is a monumental shift from the traditional, older-style revaluations that relied heavily on in-person bank branch exchanges, often leading to long lines and procedural delays. A digitally led rollout is intrinsically faster, cleaner, and more efficient, showcasing a modern, carefully designed approach to a major currency transformation event. Another section of the confidential document focuses on the anticipated value range the Vietnam dong could ultimately achieve after the revaluation is complete. In line with global central bank policy, the memo strictly avoids providing a final, definitive number, as this remains the highest secret until the moment of public release. However, what is revealed is the internal testing ranges currently being simulated by the central bank's models. This internal testing is reportedly being conducted at levels significantly higher than the currency's current official rate, suggesting a profound change is being prepared for. The simulated test ranges mentioned in the leaked document reportedly span from a potential 3-fold increase up to a 5-fold increase over the existing official exchange rate. It must be stated clearly that these figures represent internal simulations and modeling scenarios only, not a formal commitment or a guaranteed outcome. Nevertheless, the sheer fact that the central financial institution is running such high-level internal testing confirms that the planning is for a structural, significant shift, which aligns perfectly with the long-standing arguments made by independent economists regarding the dong's undervaluation. These economic arguments are based on Vietnam's undeniable fundamental strength, surging export volumes, continuous manufacturing success, substantial foreign investor interest, and the growth of a robust domestic middle class. All these factors collectively support the notion that the national currency's current value does not accurately reflect the country's real economic might. A deliberate, major revaluation would serve to correct this historical discrepancy, finally aligning the currency's official international trading value with its verifiable internal economic reality and production output. A crucial part of the internal memorandum details the quiet yet aggressive upgrades to the core banking technology that have been underway for some time. This involved comprehensive overhauls of internal software, the refinement of rate display platforms for instant accuracy, the strengthening of digital security protocols, and, critically, the establishment of cross-border system compatibility with global financial institutions. These are not minor, routine maintenance tasks. They are preparatory actions for a high-stakes financial event demanding flawless stability and absolute transactional accuracy across the entire system. The lessons learned from previous revaluations in other parts of the world have clearly influenced Vietnam's meticulous preparation. When exchange rates change, every automated teller machine, every online banking application, and every interbank clearing system must reflect the new value instantly. The slightest glitch or delay can lead to financial confusion or create opportunities for market manipulation. The memo emphasizes that the digital system upgrades have been completed with stealth and precision to ensure a seamless, instantaneous reflection of the new rate when the decision is finally executed. Accompanying the system overhauls is a reported increase in staff training at financial institutions. Employees are being instructed on new, specific transaction procedures, advanced verification methods for large holdings, and the proper, compliant handling of significantly increased exchange volumes. This intense operational preparation shows a clear intent by the authorities to ensure a controlled, problem-free rollout from the ground level up. The notification of system compatibility requirements to foreign banks further solidifies the view that international participation is an expected and integral part of this large-scale financial reform. A particularly fascinating aspect of the leaked memo is the mention that Vietnam has been actively studying past global currency reforms to learn from both their successes and their failures. The goal is clearly to avoid the pitfalls that have plagued other countries' attempts to modernize their currencies, such as severe cash shortages, prolonged public confusion at bank branches, or issues related to counterfeit currency circulation. This strategic analysis confirms that the planned move is not only an internal economic necessity, but a highly engineered logistical exercise. The strategy emerging from this comparative study is a strong preference for a digital-first rollout, which is designed to manage most of the transaction volume and prevent physical bank branches from becoming overwhelmed. This reliance on high digital engagement reflects a smart, modern approach to currency management. Furthermore, the memo hints at rigorous liquidity testing, a critical measure to ensure that banks possess the necessary funds to process exchanges at the new rates without interruption or strain on the financial system. Another lesson taken directly from the difficulties faced by other nations in their own transitions. The internal document also dedicates a section to the anticipated public response and the sophisticated management plan in place to handle it. Authorities expect a strong, immediate reaction from both domestic citizens and international holders, anticipating a significant rush of exchange requests in the initial days and weeks. The plan emphasizes the necessity of a structured, orderly management process for this surge, which is the rationale behind the concepts of tiered access, scheduled appointments, and a controlled distribution of liquidity. The goal is to proactively prevent panic and ensure that every legitimate holder is given a fair and orderly opportunity to exchange their holdings without causing instability in the overall financial framework. The document specifically notes the expected surge in international exchange requests, indicating that the authorities are fully aware of the global distribution of the currency and are prepared to manage a worldwide reaction, not just a localized domestic adjustment. This global perspective underscores the seriousness of the preparations. One of the most compelling confirmations of the memo's central thesis is the clear, direct reference to active coordination with global financial institutions. This partnership is fundamental for any currency aiming to be recognized and traded according to its nation's true market strength. The memo states that international partners have already received notifications regarding system upgrades, compatibility requirements, and expected changes to standard exchange procedures, a level of cooperation reserved for major structural shifts, not minor rate fluctuations. This collaboration is designed to guarantee that worldwide banks can instantaneously and accurately recognize the new dong value the moment it goes live. Synchronization of digital systems, verification of exchange codes, and the pre-staging of liquidity channels for international transactions are all part of this coordinated effort. The purpose is unambiguous: to ensure a smooth global transition where the new rate is universally adopted, which is essential for the currency to function effectively on the international stage and support the nation's long-term financial strategy. The emergence of this internal banking memo, irrespective of its authentication status, has irrevocably altered the narrative surrounding the Vietnam dong. It has compelled financial institutions to scrutinize their models, forced analysts to reevaluate their projections, and, most importantly, brought a typically hidden financial discussion into the public view. Conversations about global currency realignment are now taking place in a public forum, engaging viewers who were previously outside the specialized domain. Whether this document proves to be completely authentic or a meticulously crafted simulation, its impact on public awareness is undeniable. If it is genuine, it signifies the first substantial crack in the wall of financial secrecy that traditionally shields central bank decision-making until the final moment of execution. If it is a sophisticated deception, it highlights a profound vulnerability in the control of critical financial information. In either case, this moment marks a turning point in the Vietnam dong story, ensuring that the world is now watching and awaiting the eventual answer to the question that has been thrust into the spotlight. The story of the Vietnam dong's potential revaluation is now a public affair, a live discussion that will not simply fade back into the background. As history has demonstrated time and again, once a critical financial question of this magnitude enters the public consciousness, the eventual outcome, confirmation, clarification, or denial, must follow. This memo has accelerated the conversation before the financial world was fully ready, solidifying this as one of the most critical currency developments we have followed. For our viewers who are following this development and its potential connections to the Iraqi dinar's own path towards reform, the key takeaway is the sheer logistical effort required for a major, modern currency revaluation. The multi-phased approach, The digital readiness and the international coordination described in the leaked memo provide a blueprint of the complexity and meticulous preparation that underpins any such fundamental financial shift. The emphasis on organized, controlled, and internationally recognized exchange procedures provides valuable insight into the processes that must be followed to maintain systemic integrity during a time of immense financial change. The Vietnam dong situation, therefore, serves as a crucial case study in the dynamics of a major currency adjustment, demonstrating that these events are not sudden announcements but the culmination of years of quiet, calculated, and high-level preparation involving technology, trade, and global partnership. This information, while specific to Vietnam, illustrates the careful, evidence-based approach that sovereign nations must take when correcting a currency's value to reflect its true economic standing in the world. It provides a real-time example of the technical and logistical hurdles that must be cleared before any large-scale currency transition can be executed safely and effectively on the global stage.